Good evening and welcome to Formula Pi Race 2 Part 2. Tonight we'll be running heats 4 and 5. Sorry for the slight delay in getting started. We were distracted by shiny things in the office, as is a peril of working around here. It's so easy to just, miss things because there's something shiny going on. The shiny thing in question was Aaron is currently building TensorFlow. And we were all just marvelling at how hot the Raspberry Pi gets when you are building TensorFlow. It was really warm. We're using a lovely metal bolt as a heatsink currently, and it was really toasty. It's an M12 bolt, Tim tells me. I knew it was a big bolt, but I didn't know how big it was. It's an M12. It's a decent sized bolt. It's probably a Doodlebug bolt, actually, isn't it? It is a Doodlebug bolt, I've been reliably informed. And it's getting really, really hot. So we'll let you know how we get on with that. Can I say why we're building it or not? Do we know why we're building it? We're just building it for lols. Building it for lols, says Tim. Just because, it's another thing to do with us. Lots of spare time that we have. So much spare time. So yes, good evening if you're joining us. Sorry for the slight delay in getting going. Aaron is now lining up the first rack of competitors, which I will dive straight into introducing with the old spin view. Just booting it up now, takes a little minute to get going, and then all of a sudden, bang, there we are. It's there, filling our screens with its beautiful pixely goodness. First up, we got IQ Audio from Cricklade in the UK. They are now 3-time entrants to Formula Pi. They came in 10th in their first series, then got into the final and came 5th last year, and this year they're currently sitting 12th in the leaderboard. So fingers crossed tonight for IQ Audio. Hopefully they will get a little bit further on in the series. So good luck, guys. Next up, we have Red Pi Racing from Sydney in Australia. Good day or good evening. No, good morning for Australia, I believe, right now. They are 7th in the series, so good start from them this year. They've had a really, really good race run so far. I think they won their race last time, I seem to remember. I'm just double checking the old leaderboard, but it's too quick for me to, and I'm going to have to move on. It's a house robot now. So this is running the base code that we give out to all competitors at the start of the series. It's got no special tweaks, nothing interesting. It just goes. That's it. End of. Doesn't really do much else. Maybe one year, I think Tim was talking about maybe me taking over the house robots and they could be my playground, which would be quite funny, but we don't want that really. It would just trash everything. Next up, we have double Formula Pi champions, Lambda P Racing from Bern in Switzerland. Their experience is quite a lot of code, mostly Java, and I think they were coding their entire Formula Pi run in Java, so it's been really interesting to see another language being used here. Lovely improvement to the lid with a little raspberry in the driving seat there. Beautiful. I'll have to look at that later because I've not seen that one yet. And finally, we have Team Lamillo in the inside lane. They came 10th. They're sitting in 10th so far. They came 16th last year in Formula Pi, so improving this year, looking really good for them so far. So hopefully tonight we'll see a bit more good racing from them. I think they won their last race, so let's see if they can make it 2 for 2. Be good to see. Right. Tim. Still waiting because we're a little bit late getting started, so everybody's got... Oh, I can see a few robots just... Oh, look at that. Oh, almost changing. I think that could be everybody lined up there. That was quite nice, but we'll still wait for 2 minutes. We give it 2 minutes so that everybody can boot up their robots to see how their code is doing, and make sure that they've got their code all booted up and ready to go. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the chat, so hi everybody in the chat if you're there. I can see who's with us. Felix complaining we're late. Sorry TensorFlow, watching it compile and build and link, and sorry. We've got Alex, who's Codebreaker, who raced last night. Good race from them last night. It was great. Sim UK, James, Stephen, Jamie, hello. Good evening to everyone. So thank you for joining us. My name's Claire Pollard. If you don't know who I am at the Tufty on Twitter. I will be at the Tufty with 2 eyes. 4 technically, if you include the 2 on my face. Lols, National Joke Day, hashtag. Winning it. But I need a little thing that goes around with me. Yes, please, send them off. So we'll set off the robots for our first race tonight. We've got green, red, green, and then the robots will set off from the line. Hopefully we'll get 5 away and there'll be no false starts. Oh, long pause that time, but 5 robots away here. Team Lamillo getting the inside line first straight through. That is closely followed by the house robot with the green lid on top. And then it looks like 121 Red Pie Racing, then IQ Audio, then Lambda P bringing up the rear. Ooh, bit of a spin there for IQ Audio as they came into the last corner. Interesting line choice now, going backwards around the track, causing chaos for everybody else coming in head first. Ooh, I think that is Lamillo dodging around that robot there. There's the house robot, and Lambda P just getting up the inside of Red Pie Racing there as they slip into third place. This is going to be a neat and tidy race. I don't know what's happened to IQ Audio. They're having a bit of a moment. Hopefully they'll be back up. They've now done a first lap, so they're okay. Obviously it was only a momentary slip there as they came round the last corner. So we've got 5 robots away and 5 robots all moving in the right direction here. Team Lamillo taking the early lead, 3 laps in. Nice and smooth, no big crashes so far. Last night you may have seen we had a couple of false starts from a couple of the races. That's a new thing. We've not had them properly. That 2-in-1 night was pretty rare. We've checked some of the logs, and they are definitely legitimate false starts. So we will be counting them as disqualified, DSQs, I guess. I don't know what Aaron is using for an abbreviation for disqualified, but they will not count for those races. But this has led us to think about redesigning the false start rules to make them fair for future races. After having a discussion with Aaron and Tim, we're not going to change it for this week, so this week it will be the same. I'm not even sure if we'll change it for this series. We could for the last race, but in the event of a false start in future, we will say that robot has left the line. We will pick them up, switch them off, and put them back in their position on the start line so that it doesn't interrupt the flow of the race. If another robot gets nudged, and all of a sudden they set off as well, and it's that nudge that causes them to set off, then we will abandon the race and rerun it with the robot in question that caused the false start switched off on the start line.
Everybody's code will be refreshed so that log problems go away.
That's the extra bit of information that Tim gave me. As well as that, we will be refreshing the SD cards so that every robot has a clean log folder, because this was one of the things that we were talking about last night as well, which leads on to starting the robots after they've had a crash and the batteries have been nudged. Some people check that the log folders are empty and then say, oh, they're empty, I must wait because I'm waiting for the lights because it's the start of the race. But if they've had a nudge, the robot's set off, they're recording things, that will be full. So we want to make sure that people can still check the log folders, which is why we abandon the race and rerun it. So that'll be run the next day. That was what we came up with. So you'll have to let us know what you think, but we think that's a pretty good solution. So yeah, props to Pico for suggesting some of those things as well, for helping us out think of things. It's good. So we've got here now 6.5 minutes in almost. We've got Lamillo in first place with 11 laps, Red Pie Racing in second place with 11 laps, the House Robot closely following these 3, and then Lambda P and IQ Audio with 9 laps apiece, battling it out for 4th and 5th place. I think they're fairly close. This is a fairly tight lap, a tight race actually. It's nice. A little bit follow the leader here, but I'll take that. Last night we had a couple of chaotic rounds, so it'd be nice to have a straightforward race where everyone behaves themselves. The commentary is simple and straightforward, and I can say, yes, these guys are racing, yes, there's an overtake. It's, simple and straightforward. Looks like, however, Red Pie Racing here are challenging, or that's the House Robot, and Red Pie Racing, which are challenging each other. How bizarre. I've been signed out of the Google Drive spreadsheet that I was just looking at. Sorry, that's why I got distracted. It says I've been signed into another tab. I'm not sure I have, but there we are. Back in again. Because that helps me tell where people are doing and how people are doing. Sorry, that really distracted me then. That was just disappeared completely. Lamillo and Red Pie still battling it out there. They are looking super close along with the House Robot, which we obviously don't care about because they're busy. But let's see if anything can happen. Lambda P's clawed a lap back here, I think. They're now in the mix. It's looking busy. Somebody said there's no trackside mics at the moment. Well, they're on for me. I've put them on in the OBS. Tim, has anything happened with the track mics? Did we need to switch on this box? This box here is not switched on.
Please switch it.
Okay, hang on one moment.
There are 2 switches.
I've got some little lights on. Is that good?
There needs to be a...
Oh no, I've got it. There we go. Yeah. There we go. I fixed it. There's two. One of them was on and one of them was off. Very confusing. How's that now? Is that better? I think I can see now levels bouncing, which is got to be good, right? Thank you for pointing that out, Sim UK. Maybe were they on last night? Seems to think so. Just switched them off last night when we went home. Lots of switches, many switches. So thank you, Sim UK, for pointing that out. We've put them on now. Should be alright. Yeah, sorry. There are. I can't show you obviously because there's no camera here looking at my face. But there's a little box next to me that controls the sound that goes upstairs, and there are many things that need to be switched on before we start. So basically, we start setting up for Formula Pi about an hour before we go on air. So we have. Oh, Red Pie Racing has taken the lead. Sorry, with all that, I've got distracted. Lamillo and Red Pie have obviously been back and forth, and they've taken the Lamillo have now taken the lead. Red Pie have taken the lead. Lamillo are now catching them. This is very exciting. I didn't notice that happen, sorry, with all the faffing about with the old cameras. Oh, that's an interesting question, James. James Tobin has just asked in the chat, any possibility of having moving troll bots during the challenge rounds? Tim has just pulled a face that is actually very similar to the Trollbot face, and he turned round and looked at me. So I'm assuming that is a yes.
That is definitely a yes, and yes, we've been working on that, and it should be...
Challenge 3?
No, not Challenge 3. Okay,
not Challenge 3, but next year. Right. James, clearly on the same wavelength as Tim there. Mobile troll bots during the challenge rounds, that is going to be a plus for next year in terms of troll bot difficulty. We will have mobile and stationary troll bots, I imagine. Yeah, next season. We don't like changing things halfway through, but now everyone's a bit more used to the static ones. We've had 2 seasons of statics. Be nice to move them a bit. But yes. Red Pie now stretching their lead out to about a lap. Ooh, somebody's upside down. Who's that upside down? Green light. That'll be Red Pie Racing upside down. So have Lamillo overtaken Red Pie Racing here. Oh, it was all going so well for them, and now there's a crash. That is Team Lamillo bashing into Red Pie Racing. So they're holding them up, but they're both heading in the right direction now, despite being upside down. Oh, Red Pie Racing is holding up Lamillo, so this could leave the door open for the House Robots to take the lead. They have. Red Pie stopped Lamillo from the overtake, but I think Lamillo are probably free now. There we go, both side by side coming across the line. Lamillo have taken the lead, just. Crikey. This is actually turning out to be quite busy now. House Robot appears to be going... that is the Lamillo robot now is going backwards, I think, or maybe Red Pie. I've lost track of wherever. Oh, beach! Whoa, proper flip! That was a power flip! There's a proper 4-wheel bounce there from the Red Pie Racing team. Amazing! Big bounce there. So I'm envisaging with these mobile troll bots, Tim, that they're sort of like moving slowly around the track, like not full pelt, but they're kind of like lumbering about like a troll would. Tim's just mouthed random speeds at me. I don't know what that could possibly mean. That might be a clue. House Robot now extending their lead. Lamillo have overtaken Red Pie, so all change at the top. All change with the last 15 seconds to go. Looks like the House Robot's going to take this one. Boo. Boo. Don't want the House Robots to win at all. 5 seconds left. So as I consult the leaderboard to get in my results, there we go, race over. So in 5th place with 29 laps. Wow, this is a big lap race. Oh, pile up. And a restart. What a way to finish. Great polishing finishing there. Great. Everybody would just pile like into the back of those robots. It'd be a great park. It'd be easy for Aaron. In 5th place, IQ Audio with 29 laps. In 4th place, Lambda P with 30 laps. In 3rd place, Red Pie Racing with 30 laps. In 2nd place with 31 laps, it is Team Lamillo. And in 1st place, it is the House Robot with 32 laps. Good stuff. Just filling in the old leaderboard. There we go. I've done that, so that'll live update the old spreadsheet if you're watching on the spreadsheet. Sigh. So, a little factoid here whilst we're waiting for the next setup. Team Lamillo now hold the current total overall lap record with 63 laps. Big stuff. That is big for race 2 of the season. That's big. That's not to be sniffed at. It's averaging about 15 laps every race. Pretty good, that. Yeah, like it. Well done, Lamillo. Congrats for that. Right. Where were we? We're setting up the final heat for this week. It's quite a busy old race, that one. I'm trying to do all my jobs. You know I have lots of jobs, and obviously dealing with the sound was one of them. That's a new job for me. It's a long way to have to stretch over there to that thing. So as I do every night, I talk about who actually helped us put on Formula Pi. Obviously, we had the first Kickstarter that helped us out and gave us lots of lovely backing to help us buy cameras and paints and all sorts. But we have some big sponsors for this series who've helped us with equipment and their time. So first up is POSIX, accurate indoor GPS positioning systems used in the Raptor boards. They will be used in that system, so go and check them out. Our friends in Tunbridge Wells, it's Mod My Pi. They sell everything you might need with a Raspberry Pi, all sorts of goodies. Also for the big board for Android, for the Onion, I think there's even Adafruit stuff in there today, so go and check them out. Next up, Electromaker.io, hardware hacking community in the UK, but based online for the world. Go and check out all their tutorials and blogs. The IQ Audio team, obviously, like I said, who just raced now, came good results there for them. Lovely audio hats and DACs, go and find their stuff. And finally, the lovely Pimeroni from Sheffield. They have some beautiful boards. I was just checking out the Garden Breakout board. The silk screen on that is absolutely stunning. Obviously, the Picade came out as well, so go and check that out. And they've released a beautiful video explaining what the new Raspberry Pi PoE hat is as well, so go and check out that too. Finally, if you'd like to sponsor Formula Pi, it's info@formulapi.com. We are at formulapi_ on Twitter. Tim is chuntering behind me and running around with a robot in his hand. What's happening, Tim?
We have a robot not starting, so I'm not powering up, so I'm just going to go and replace it.
So replacing a robot that didn't power up. We've got a mechanical with that robot, so we're about to go and switch the card out. He's running upstairs to go and change that now. You should hear the tiptoe of tiny feet as he walks up the stairs to go and replace the robot. Oh, he's back again. Maybe not the tiptoe of tiny feet just yet, but he's getting there. Consulting, he's got his wire cutters. He's got his little wire strippers that he needs off, and bless him, he needs tools. He's off. So this is... Yes, so sorry, so does that mean Chitty is 4th or 5th, says Simon in the chat. As it stands at the moment, Chitty Pi is in 5th place with 30 points. But that could change because we have currently in this heat, we have Lambda Q coming up, Rasperstal Infierno, Sheldon's Fury, who I think is within touching distance if they get... No, actually they're not, sorry, my bad. Mary Pipins is the other one who could do it. Let's have a check. No, so I think you're fairly safe actually. So that will be Chitty Pi in 5th place, I think, after tonight. Obviously this is provisional. All results are subject to the stewards after the race. Aaron and Tim, obviously, again, we all wear multiple hats here. But yes, Pico has just put the link up if you'd like to go and look at the live spreadsheet to see what we're doing and how we are scoring things. It lives at bit.ly FP Live link that is posted in the chat, so go and check that out, please. And that is updated by the other spreadsheet, which I get to look at, which is really busy. And if you actually look on Twitter last night, We had the lovely ladies from the Magpie up, Lucy and Rosie, and they sat and watched the race, and they took some photos of the commentary booth and me mid-commentary, so there is a picture of the spreadsheet there, which I'll probably retweet later. I should. I haven't had a chance to. It's been a busy week. I'm in the process of leaving my job. I'll be leaving tomorrow, onto a very, very exciting new job, which I'll be able to tell you about in a couple of weeks. Fingers crossed. Are you lolling, Tim? I hear a loll.
If anyone's interested, I'll post a picture on Twitter after the race.
Oh, what happened?
One of the batteries is...
Is it melted?
well,
I think we might have a battery.
certainly the top of it has come off.
Ugh, we might have a battery leakage issue, seepage. You can post a picture now if you want.
Yeah, it doesn't look very healthy.
Post a picture now, then everyone can see it.
Okay.
Tim's got access to Twitter. Sorry, this is like we're having a slight pause whilst this is all going on. We always have backup robots ready to go just in case. Tim is
I'm trying to get a nice...
he's trying to get a really, really good photo. Maybe I can do spin view whilst you get a nice photo and post that on Twitter, please. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do what I should be doing rather than just gassing at the internet. There we go. Right, booting up the old spin view. Takes a little while for the spinner to get wound up sufficiently so we can get going with this. Finally tonight, last heat we have Lambda Q Racing, the nephew of Lambda P, full-on racing pedigree, currently in 22nd place on the leaderboard, looking to improve tonight and get a little bit further in the competition, so good luck with that, Lambda Q. We'll be watching you tonight to see how you get on. Next up, we have Formula Pi regulars and now four-time entrants to Formula Pi. It's Rasparas del Infierno from Madrid in Spain. They came 3rd and then 5th and then 18th. So that's their record. They've been in the final twice. They're currently in 8th place in the leaderboard. They are hoping to get a bit further on from last year. Fingers crossed. Really hope to see you in the final again this year. Next up, middle lane, we've got Sheldon's Fury, new competitor this year for us for Formula Pi. Sorry, Sheldon Fury is currently sitting 8th. I misread. I was reading a previous line. I've written all the wrong lines and everything. They're doing really, really well so far, so could jump up the leaderboard tonight, possibly into 10th place, maybe get in the top 10 after this race. We'll see. Hopefully, it'll be good for them. Then we have a house robot, as before. Runs the base code. There are no changes to this. It'll just drive around aimlessly until it runs out of batteries, I guess. And yeah, base code, nothing special. Still spin view, Tim. Very excited now. We want to go as quick as possible. Finally, it's Mary Pipins, 18th in the leaderboard at the moment, one of the Electromaker IO teams. They are importing the UK. They've been coding for 4 to 6 months, and they've done fairly well so far in the series. It's been good. I mean, it's been nice to see these different split teams coming out of this one team. They came, let's have a look, 3rd in their first race, and they won their first challenge round. So it was a bit of a mixed bag in the second challenge where they didn't start. So hopefully tonight they can make up for that lost time and get a bit further up the leaderboard. So good luck, everyone. This is busy now in the old leaderboard. Right, we can go now, Tim, please. Are you tweeting? Have you tweeted? He tweeted the picture, so if you want to go to at Formula Pi _, you'll be able to see what was holding up the robots tonight from racing. I'm going to look now as well, because obviously I haven't seen, because he kind of waved it at me. Yes, please, Tim, off you go.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
There we are. Oh, is that a false start? That is a false start. So I would set the robots off if it was me at this point before it comes back round and causes havoc. Was that the house robot false starting? Oh no. Oh, our worst fears have been imagined. That is... That was what we were hoping to avoid. That is, I think, Sheldon's Fury set off first, and they've knocked Rasparas del Infierno, who has now knocked into another robot, which has caused it to... Oh dear. This could start everyone off. This is our worst fear, has been imagined.
Yeah, switch them all off and later on after we've written to the cards.
Are we going to do that tonight? Are we going to put the feedback on, or will we do it tomorrow?
We'll erase the logs first, and then we'll rewrite the cards, and then we will run them again.
Today or tomorrow?
I think we're gonna have to do it tomorrow. It's
Okay.
take a bit of time.
So we're going to call that a night, I think. Sorry, everyone. That, is going to have to be an abandon. We didn't want to have to do this rule because it was a change to the rules that we had last night. But I think we're going to have to. Our hand has been forced. Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the robots off the track now. We're going to rewrite all of the cards so the logs are clean. We will rerun this race tomorrow in our own time. We will record it.
The Jumpstart one, which was
Sheldon's Fury.
Sheldon's Fury, will switch off and put on the start line.
Okay. Sheldon's Fury will be switched off, put on the start line, and we will rerun the race with the other 4 robots in place. We didn't want to have to do that, but we are going to have to do that. I think it's fairest in terms of the rest of the racers.
Yeah.
Okay.
We shall record.
I'll get Tim to come round. He's shouting from the corner of the room, and he knows that nobody can hear him.
I think the best thing is we'll record this at some point during the day, perhaps tomorrow. Unfortunately, won't have the amazing Tufty commentary, but then we'll just post it up as a normal video. We'll let everyone know via Twitter, etc.
And I think, you wouldn't want my commentary tomorrow because I'm probably going to be in a mess somewhere. It's my last day at job tomorrow. I've been there 7.5 years, and
hopefully someone will buy you a drink.
I'm hoping somebody will buy me a drink, but I don't know if that will happen. So it's probably best that I don't do the commentary tomorrow.
So sorry everyone about that.
Yeah, sorry,
but that's,
really not ideal.
I think it's the most fair thing we can do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think this is what we'll do for a standard thing next season, is to switch off the robot that jumps the start and place it back on the start line. I think we'll do that by default. It was just as we had 2 of those happening yesterday, we were trying as much as we could to let them run, but unfortunately it hasn't worked out that way. So
also. Disappointed that no one's paying attention to the advice that I gave during the talk at Raspberry Fields.
What was that?
Rule 1 of Formula Pi: don't play with the start light code.
Well, it's not the start light code necessarily, is it? It's quite potentially the battery disconnect code.
Okay.
But I think what we could try and do is, if we can, we'll try and write a quick blog on the restart code.
Yes.
To help people.
We could try.
And just sort of clarify.
I like
something.
this. Sim UK has suggested BMX style start gate for the next season.
With a nice big ramp.
I think we need a proper hydraulic ram, like, robots ready, watch the gain, and it just goes. I think that would be amazing.
We could do that.
I could find that. We could even find the annoying voice that goes with it. The annoying American. Riders ready, watch the gate. It is kind of like ingrained in my head. We could. That would be funny.
Okay.
Maybe that's a building project.
Yeah.
But it would have to be a ram that then lowers itself into the ground immediately. Oh, there's many things to think about. Anyway, that's for me and Tim to discuss in our free time. But Sim UK, like your style. Yes. So, right. That's it for tonight. We're going to close this off. So thank you all for your patience, and thank you all for joining us. And we will speak to you via the means of an internet video at some point tomorrow, without me. Then we will be back 2 weeks, as per usual, with a testing round, I believe, in 2 weeks. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Good.
We'll obviously have a look at the software and hardware of that. I very much doubt that this is going to be a hardware problem, but we will obviously check it as we always do.
Yep, as per usual. Right.
Okay.
Done. So good night, everyone. Have a good weekend. Speak to you soon. Bye bye for now.